Hi, and welcome to all the members of ISC Squared. I'm Zach Tudor, and I'm the chairman of the board for ISC Squared. I'm here to talk about a lot of the things that we do on the board and working with the organization, and later on I'll introduce our new CEO. In general, the board is an oversight board for ISC Squared, and I work to make sure that we have committees in place to help define strategy, to work on finding new candidates, to work on bylaws changes that may be needed, and other high-level roles that can be done as an advisor to management, particularly the CEO. One of the things that we've heard over the last couple of years is there's some questions about what we all do and maybe a lack of transparency. I think that a lot of the members of the board, because we are also members of the organization, felt that we were your kind of transparent conduit to what's going on in management. But we're going to try this to see if we can just provide you with a little bit more information about what goes on at the board. And hopefully it will be interesting, right? So maybe you'll find out that it really hasn't been that much of a difference, but we think you'll find a lot of information that we discuss here. And so basically, after each board meeting quarterly, we're going to try to have a video with the CEO and with me, or maybe other board members, so that way you can hear how we're doing, how the association is performing, and let the CEO talk about things that are important to her and to management. So I wanted to just talk briefly looking back at 2020. If any of you out there have had a kind of normal year for the past year, you can email me at ztutor@iscsquared.org, because we've all had a really set of interesting years, from transitioning to physical presence at work or meetings, security Congress, etc., into a never-ending stream of Zoom meetings and etc. So it's been really difficult, and I really want to give a lot of credit to the management team and the staff for being able to respond to the pandemic and move a lot of the things that have normally been done in person into a more virtual environment. And so we've also, in this time, been able to do a kind of virtual meetings and selections for a new CEO, which is going to take us in a wonderful new direction as we move forward and grow as an organization. And with that, I would like, for those of you that haven't met her yet, I would like to introduce Claire Rosso, the new chairman of the board. I mean, I should say, no, I'm the chairman of the board. So with that, I would like to introduce you to Claire Rosso, the new CEO of ISC Squared.
Thanks, Zach. It's great to be here. In fact, I believe in about a week, I reached my 5-month anniversary with ISC Squared. I have to say, I am inspired daily, both by our members' commitment to ensuring a safe and secure cyber world, as well as our internal staff's commitment to helping members achieve those goals. It's really important that ISC Squared remain a strong, growing organization. And as Zach alluded to, this is really the primary focus of the conversations that we have with the board. So if I reflect back on the Q1 board meeting that we just finished, we spent a lot of time looking at how we finished up 2020 and what's coming in 2021. And so I am pleased to report that in this pandemic year, we actually ended with record membership, more than 157,000 members globally. Our Asia Pacific region surpassed 20,000. Actually, I think as of today, they're past 22,000 members. And our fastest growing certification this past year was the CCSP. It grew at a rate of almost 30%, and we now have almost 10,000 certification holders globally. And not only does this growth help establish the value of ISC Squared certifications out in the marketplace, but it also allows us to continually reinvest in our membership. And I think a great example of how we invest in our members is the professional development that we offer. We have dozens of free for members, self-paced on-demand learning through PDI. And after only 2 years in the market, we've had over 75,000 PDI course completions, and about 27% of our members have engaged in courses. That's those are pretty great numbers. What we hope will actually even expand that is we introduced our first translated courses into the market at the end of the year. We translated them into Spanish, and we're looking at introducing even more courses in different languages in 2021 as the market demands. Another area where we showed really strength in continuing education last year was with our webinars. We had 166 webinars, but what was truly phenomenal is those 166 webinars resulted in about 700,000 views. That's a 67% increase over the previous year. And then, of course, as you know, our Security Congress in 2020 was fully virtual. And while the live event has about 2,000 people normally, with our special pandemic pricing and virtual only version in November last year, we had more than 5,700 attendees, which was fantastic. For 2021, we are planning a hybrid event. We anticipate that we will be limited with the number of people that can attend on site. So we're really trying to make a premium experience for those individuals. And then, of course, we will have an even better experience for the online participants in 2021. Another area in which we made progress last year is we enhanced our online communities that have over 30,000 members who participate in them. And Zach, speaking about communities, I think our chapters are a very important community for ISC Squared. Can you talk a little bit about the board's commitment to our chapters?
Well, sure. Well, we have about 155 chapters globally, and it allows our members to kind of, come together, meet each other, but also meet the community. I think chapters are good opportunities for people in the community to mentor each other. We can also, help new members, come in and understand what the kind of market for our talent is. But we also find ways to give back to the community. And I think we see a lot of potential for chapters. And Claire, as you know, you're going to be renewing the focus on supporting chapters. Doing things like, stronger engagement with chapter leadership and members. You're going to be helping the chapters grow and operate more easily and help them deliver professional development opportunities to members. I know that I'm fortunate that we have a newly chartered chapter here in Idaho Falls, which those who don't know, we always talk about Idaho being the birthplace of ISC Squared. And so I'm really looking forward to supporting that chapter in my role as a member, but also with having more insight about the things that happen at the organization and at the board. But as I mentioned, we support future candidates. We can have courses, brown bags to help people learn about the domains. But I think that the ISC Square is doing some even greater things to support the candidates. And Claire, if you can tell us some of those things.
Absolutely. And I agree. I think chapters are a really great introduction to ISC Squared for many of our candidates. When we look at 2020 and candidate support, that was really about making education accessible, moving people from in-person education experiences to online education experiences, and also making sure that people had the appropriate length of time they needed in order to take the exams. Because we had testing centers closed part of last year, we extended examination times last year. But what's going on right now that is truly exciting and I think pivotal in ISC Squared's future is we are piloting online proctoring of our exams. We were running this pilot over a 2-week period that ends at the end of the month. And then following that, we will assess what we learned from the pilot. We will be looking to our accreditation agency to approve us for ongoing online proctoring example. And we'll be talking to the board at our future board meetings about risks and opportunity associated with online proctoring. Because I will assure you that first and foremost, the security and the integrity of our exams and therefore your certifications is utmost important to us. Some of the other things we're doing in terms of supporting candidates are there's some changes coming to the CISSP exam in May. Therefore, the team is updating all the education associated with supporting exam preparation, from online and in-person course content to our textbooks and our practice test study guide, the study app, and flashcards. So a lot of support to help candidates do their best. We also partner with some of the best learning companies in the world, and these are our official training providers, or OTPs. And these folks extend candidate access to ISC Squared official education materials, and their courses are led by ISC Squared authorized instructors.
Rigor that the organization places in developing and conducting the exams and vetting all of our members is something that always attracted me to the organization. I volunteered in test polls and job task analysis and other working groups, and the rigor that goes behind this internationally accredited certification is really quite amazing. And I've always taken pride in it. And it's part of that reputation of ISC Squared that makes us valuable to the people who want to value our candidates. And so that being said, can you talk about some of the ways that we're going to be enhancing the reputation of ISC Squared and our certification holders?
That is a great topic, and it is a broad spectrum of things, from the work that we put into ensuring the integrity of our exams to ongoing media and public relations work. But I do want to focus on two areas. First is recognition. We are going to be amplifying efforts that we're already doing in this area to align our certifications with authoritative cybersecurity frameworks and job roles for major enterprises and government employers. We believe that this helps ensure the relevancy and the value of your certifications. Additionally, annually, we engage in many original research projects. The most popular and well-known, of course, is our cybersecurity workforce study. And those help to provide insights into the cybersecurity profession and our member needs. And by getting those insights, what we're able to do is serve you as members better. And I'll just give a small example from last year's workforce study. One of the things the certification holders told us was that the area of focus for them for continuing professional development over the next 2 years would be cloud security. That's resulted in a couple of actions from us, both increasing visibility and promotion of our CCSP as an opportunity to enhance your skills, as well as our education team creating a suite of cloud security education programs that will be released into the marketplace throughout this year. And then the other thing, of course, when we release our research and our thought leadership, that increases the visibility of ISC Squared and our certifications, both in the security space, but also within the broader business community. I think we were quoted multiple times in the Wall Street Journal last year. We appeared in the Financial Times recently talking about our workforce study, and that really elevates the role and the value of the CISSP and our other certification holders.
No, absolutely. Well, Claire, one of the other things that we work with you on, one of our key roles as a board, is to work with you and your leadership team to develop the strategic direction of ISC Squared, focusing both on short and long-term deliverables. And we're very excited to have you on board. And for those who haven't followed the kind of the process or don't know a lot of the history of ISC Squared, you're not a traditional CISSP, a member, but you are a professional association, director. And so I think that's going to help us, bring our organization to a whole new level. So with that, can you, provide our members with a glimpse of some of the plans ISC Squared has and what members can look forward to in the coming years?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we are currently engaged in building a multi-year strategic plan with the board of directors. It's super exciting, and I could go on for hours, and I won't, I promise. But just as a peek of what we're doing, we have 4 main strategic priorities. One is to first and foremost amplify the core. And what that means is, let's make sure that what we do really well, we keep doing really well. So that's looking at our certification programs and making sure that they are fit for purpose for the marketplace. And then maybe do something like look at our common body of knowledge and seeing how can we make that more universal, so that there might be stepping stones between our certifications. So I think that's pretty exciting. We're also looking at our business model to make sure that we are providing you, our members, with the products, services, and experiences that you most need for us to be relevant to you. So those are some of the things in that amplify the core area. The other thing that we're really digging into is how do we promote global competence in the area of cybersecurity? Both that speaks to what do we offer to our members in the areas of continuing professional development, whether that's certifications or standalone education, but also how do we serve the broader profession to help ensure competence, because it's in all our best interest that everyone is competent, right? If we want to inspire a safe and secure cyber world. The next area or strategic priority that we're looking at is advocating for our members and for our profession. We just talked about the advocacy work that we do with thought leadership and recognition. There's also brand awareness, public relations, PR, media relations, and those are ways we advocate. But we're also looking at how are we advocating in the public policy space. And I can give you the most simplistic example, but I think really shows kind of some relevance. And that is in the US market, often they talk about STEM education. One of the ways we can create relevancy for the profession is by ensuring that cybersecurity is considered as a STEM career and topic in education. So we are looking deeply into that area. And then the other thing that we're doing that's really important in that space is we are kicking off a diversity, equity, and inclusion initiative. And our task force will meet for the first time on March 8th. So we're really excited about that. We think that work in that area is really important in terms of addressing the workforce gap that the profession has. And then the final area of focus for us in terms of our strategic priorities is really service excellence. And so that is where we are looking at what are we doing with our chapters? How do we work better with our chapters? And then just generally, how do we, from a service and technology perspective, provide you, our members, the best service we can possibly provide so you have the best experience possible. So a lot of good activities going on that as the year progresses, we'll be providing more details about.
All right, well, Claire, thank you so much for this great information and these great insights, and for helping to start to facilitate this new way for the board and the organization to reach out to our members. And to all of our members and associates, I hope this was helpful and insightful. And knowing that you're not shy out there, we'll be sure to get your feedback. But also, to ensure that you don't miss out on any of the other ISC Squared news or other developments, make sure your email profile and preferences are kept up to date. There's lots of things happening, a lot of great activity, and we want you to be able to find out about this and so much more. So thank you again for joining us. Claire, thank you for joining. And thank you all for all that you do to inspire a safe and secure cyber world.